Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd go over a little TA this weekend. Um, yeah, so we're getting a nice pump right now. It's largely based on that they're debating Trump's bill, um, and I guess the speculation is that it's about to be um, voted on. Um, so that being said, um, there's probably going to be some retracement. Um, we are about to hit the 50 SMA on the ETH daily. I do expect us to hit that and then retrace a bit. We might come back to one of these levels here. Um, I would note that this is an important level. Um, Not exactly on a fib, but it is in between them. So I would expect us to, at some point, at least wick to there. So you might want to set an alert and see what the charts look like at that point. Um, and yeah, you're looking at a lot of different indicators. These are the indicators that we've designed over the years, and our version of Market Cipher down here, which is far more detailed and has a lot more features than the original. Um, Key areas to keep in mind if you're looking for to catch possible wicks. You might want to keep an eye out for this area on ETH. I really doubt that we're going to hit that at this point, but it doesn't hurt to set an alert. It really doesn't. And these would be great areas as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for on ETH. Possible rejection off the 50, bouncing around the 382 or between the 0.5 here on the 2 hour, and then continuation. We'll probably ride the 50 for a while before we break through it, but I do suspect that momentum will continue. I'll look at the daily chart for a moment. Everything looks pretty good on the daily. Our stochastic's green. The cumulative delta volume is green. Momentum is crossing up over the 0 line. It is looking good. But yeah, I do expect us to ride over here for a while. And if you want some longer take profit targets, this area is a likely zone of resistance, given these moving averages converging up there. So keep an eye out for that. You can see how price reacts to when they get really tight, and they kind of act like a moving line of resistance. All right, so let's continue to Bitcoin. It's really a nice move. I made good change this weekend trading this. 2K on the day or so. So no complaints there. I mean, Bitcoin's is usually a little more difficult to trade. You get more fake outs from my experience. That being said, keep an eye out for some retracements to these fib levels. I do feel like this is likely flip this support as well. So just be aware of that. Bitcoin's not as volatile as it used to be, but retracements to those zones will probably, be good trades. Okay, so on the daily, everything's looking good. You may want to look at that 110 level for a potential short. And it does look like we have kind of one of these ascending trends here. I mean, descending trends. And usually these are bullish. So in general, the TA would be something like this. So if this were to play out, well, I would be looking at that 110 level just in case, but you need to look to see what the lower time frames look like when the breakout does happen, but it does look like this move could take us to 115. That being said, we could chop around here for a little while too. We could come back down and then back up again. You know, hitting like the 77 here at 101, it's possible. Would be a great long. All right, we'll do Solana and then call it a day. Honestly, Solana is like where I make pretty much all my income, just trading Solana. Good old soul. All right. So we are definitely hitting a really strong area of resistance, it looks like. From 160 to 156. We got the 50 daily. So absolutely expect a reaction around here. This retracement, however, whenever it does hit this zone and retraces downward, would likely be a good long. So keep an eye out for that. Areas that have my interest, this cluster right here, where we see all these moving averages coming together. So that is from 147 to 144. Personally, I'm going to be building longs in this area if we get a retrace. Like, no question about it. And I'll be quite aggressive at it. So keep an eye out for that. And we have the 1372 SMA way up there. Too far away to really consider, but to be noted. And you'll notice I use really odd moving averages, and I have my programmer to thank for that. He did some work at a hedge fund, and he gave me a list of the moving averages that they wanted in an indicator. And it's actually really surprising how these moving averages interact with price. So I have him to blame for all that madness. But you, like, for example, you see the 343-minute SMA right here, and price just wicked to it and then went to the upside. It's just a little something extra you can put in your toolkit, you know, something that gives you another confluence to confirm your trade. All right, let's check out the daily. Honestly, daily looks like shit, but let's see here. We got the same sort of pattern that Bitcoin's got. We got this descending channel. You know, and while it seems like, you know, the world's ending when these channels happen, like, ultimately they are bullish. So let's see, where could we expect price to go? I think it's interesting that it does take us to this area of interest for the sell side at the top there. Something to consider. It hasn't officially broken out of this zone yet. Given that tomorrow is Monday, I'm still expecting some retracement and then probably our breakout. But yeah, you'd want to take a look at the smaller time frames to see how price behaves once it comes out of one of these zones. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you learned something. Take care.